Check, check, check. 1 2 1 2. Bitter games in the building. You know what it is. First things first. My peoples come first. My people, those that are here, those that are no longer here, always thought of and remembered. We back. We back with another 115. One question, 15 minutes. And I like having these shows. I like to be able to have these one-on-ones. Sometimes, I may have a few guests with me. But yeah, I really enjoy these shows. And what I'm going to be talking about, if you're not familiar, it's about the change in energy. It's about the narratives that are changing, that are being adjusted. It's about the hypocrites. That's really what it is. And I'm hearing a lot of revisionist. I'm hearing a lot of um I'm hearing a lot of people talking like they are sociopaths. Like they don't even remember the fraudulent things that they said beforehand. So I want to address it. And it's probably going to be something that we're going to do over here at Vader Games TV over a series of shows. And I definitely want to do this with CIA because I need my other city panel members to share, because I can't hear everything. I only hear a few. I do feature on a few channels which happen to be, the rivals in terms of the clubs that they represent. We're not rivals in terms of like good, very good friendships. But when I'm featured on Sarcasm City TV, United fan, when I'm featured on Don Hussam's channel, right, Liverpool fan, when I'm featured on Igal Talks Football, Arsenal fan, when I'm featured on American Waffle, or should I say TJ Warren TV, Arsenal fan. So there's a few where I'm venturing out and I'm talking amongst these rivals, and I'm hearing some really terrible narratives. I'm hearing a few things, and the majority of it is coming out of Liverpool. So if you're a Liverpool fan watching right now, I think you're going to be annoyed with the show. So you got a deal. And when I am going to say something that's a little too sensitive for your ears, I'm going to put this up so you know, right? I'm going to put this up and I'm going to speak like this so you know what's going on.
Can you earmuff it for me? We are going to get so...
Earmuff it. I'm going to say earmuff it. Classic movie. You haven't seen it, old school. I like old school. It's kind of fitting because I'm old school myself. But if you see me do this, that means cover your ears. You're not going to like what I have to say. Now, let me shout out the very first in the building to say, Vader, mad love for you. Let me drop a comment. Let me be a part of the show. Hopefully you also hit that like button as well. But very first in the building. Yo, we got Letty in the building. Hi, B. Yo, good looking out. Thank you so very much. I'm doing this early show because I'm trying to get a jump on it with regards to the rest of the workday and things that may happen. It's the last week of school, so anything can happen, and I'm just trying to be ready for it. Where did I put my phone? All right, I got my phone ready. AJ in the building as well. He goes, big up Vader every time with the flex. Good looking out. Thank you so very much. Beans and toast. Hi, Mr. Gaslight. What kind of high is that? Beans and toast. What kind of high is that? Hi, Mr. Gaslight. I ain't gaslighting. And I'm definitely not gaslighting today. Liverpool fans, you're not going to like what I have to have. You're not going to like what I have to say. Or you're maybe going to be like, you know what, Vader? I didn't see it that way. And for some out there that are talking reckless or talking in a different way, you know what? You got a point. So hopefully this show can bring that type of light. Thank you for being here right now. Beans and Toast goes, reason why we don't get labeled like City is we don't throw money at everything. You spent 180 in January. Only you and Chelsea have spent like that. We spent like that in January. And we're not the only one that can spend like that. We just chose to. Look at how you guys are spending. Look at how Liverpool are spending this window. They could have, had they chose to, they could have done that in January transfer window. Look at the record signing or potential second record signing that's happening with regards to Isak. Again, Again, that's 100 mil easy, right? So you guys could have spent 100 mil in Jan, and you're clearly spending over 100 mil right now with the Wirtz and the Kerkez and the Frimpong. So it's not that City and Chelsea are the only ones that can. It's that we've chosen to. So, but we're gonna get into it. We're definitely gonna get into it. I'm gonna make sure I put the clock up as well. AJ goes, Vader, this is how I feel about everything. If Liverpool get Alexander Isaks, they would have bought the league, no question. But I wish Arsenal would buy a league title. So AJ, this is where you're fair and balanced, right? And not being the hypocrite, like not saying I wouldn't want my club to do this, right? Oh, you're doing it the wrong way. This is how, and again, air muffet Liverpool fans. This is how Liverpool fans were talking with regards to City, right? They had a manager, and I get it. You as a fan base, you kind of parrot what your manager says. So when your manager is saying I cannot compete, when your manager says only 3 clubs in the world can do or spend the way they spend, and if he's coming across like if I speak, I'm in trouble. When a manager was kind of speaking like that, I get it. The fan base are going to follow along. But it is clear it was never a case of that's how Liverpool need to operate. Told about how much revenue they make, told about how large of a fan base they have, told about how many kit sales they have, told about their viewership, right? So all those things play or a factor with regards to what they're able to buy. And it was a choice. And a large part, which Liverpool fans are probably only going to admit amongst themselves. They won't admit amongst us rivals, right? But Liverpool fans amongst themselves will admit what was probably holding them back from being the dominant club that they all wanted. They kept complaining FSG. What is probably coming to light right now, and with time, all things come to the light, is Klopp. Klopp's philosophy or Klopp's approach with regards to player management and squad management. I think that was the biggest hindrance. So, but we're gonna get into it because this City ruining football talk, we're gonna have to address it because it's so ironic. It's so funny that the way Liverpool are splashing, when I say like cannonball, right? Cannonball splashing into the pool, the way they are splashing the cash, crickets. Crickets. The way they're splashing the cash, it's absolutely ridiculous. So we're going to get into it. I got to make sure I put the clock up. I want to shout out everybody that's dropped the comments nice and early within the show. AJ also goes, AJ also says, there's nothing wrong with buying the league because it has to be done considering what happened to modern football. Modern football has changed a lot. And this is also another reason why, and maybe I'll have to talk about this. I'll add it to one of the topics, but this is why I don't like comparing eras. I don't really like talking about, oh, this manager is better than this manager. It's really different eras. The competition has changed so much. There's more games that are actually have to be managed or players need to manage. And that there's also a lot less control. There's more control back then with regards to a club or manager say on the players. Players have so much more mobility now. They have so much more freedom, and the control isn't there. So there's a lot of variables that goes into a manager these days, but that's a conversation for another time. Mateo in the building goes, throw money at everything. Oh, agenda helmets in the chat. We're gonna address it. We're gonna address it because it's so ironic. It is so ironic. Please hit that like button while you're doing this. Listen. Ask Vader. All right. Listen, we're gonna get into it. Good looking out. Thank you, each and every one of you in the comments. Listen, we're creeping. 5953. All right. It's been a very nice month. Even because I didn't really kick off from the very beginning, but the love, you guys. And again, I know that you guys are seeing me over featured on other channels, right? and I enjoy them tremendously. Some say, Vader, if you're really on that grind for your channel, you would feature less and do more. I like the balance. Again, this isn't something where I'm going hardcore on. A lot of things that I got to manage, but I do like to be able to get my voice out when I can here and there. And again, on my channel, I don't get interrupted. On my channel, I get to have the final say, because when I'm featured elsewhere, especially if what I happen to say is ear muff worthy, right? Get the earmuffs on. When it's worthy, I don't get the final say. And you guys can see it. You guys can see it when I'm on other channels. Hey, oh, Vader crushed him with a point, right? I killed him. My rebuttal was nasty, right? Any of you battle rappers out there, my rebuttal was nasty, but they got to have the final say and throw in that little slant. But listen, we're gonna get this going now. Let me do this. I gotta add this to it, and I see your comments. I'm gonna start so I can come back to it. It's such a fun combo, and I like posing it because it brings light to what you're gonna observe. Obviously, when where should I put the clock? Actually, let me put it over here. It's interesting because as I bring this up, hopefully it brings a little bit of awareness. So when you're out and about and you're listening and you're like, you know what, look how positively they're talking about Liverpool and what they're potentially going to be spending and doing this year, right? We're going to get into it. All right, let me do this. I hope you like that transition. I've been messing around with it, so hope that's nice and clean. Now, clock's going to start. We are also going to deal with the comments as they go along, and forgive me because I need to get a few things off my brain as well as the comments, but we're going to have a nice conversation. So, clock. Let's get the clock started. Wait, why can't I do that? There we go. Let's get the clock started. Here we go. All right, clock's up. 1 question, 50 minutes, 115. Now, Liverpool won the league last year. Liverpool won the league last year with only buying Chiesa, right? City arrogantly, some say, bought Savinho for like 25, and it had a return of a Gundogan, right? Liverpool strengthened with 1 player, City strengthened with 2 players, and it clearly wasn't enough. After Liverpool have now won the league, they've gone into the market aggressively. They've addressed their right back, spent money on that. They addressed their left back, spent money on that. And many would argue that they upgraded, especially defensively. All right. You can have your questions on what they will do in attack, but from a defensive standpoint, they're better. I'm not going to get into the whole Trent thing, guys. Liverpool fans have actually been honest. Now that he's no longer a Liverpool player, they've actually been honest with regards to what Trent was defensively. Frimpong is an improvement. Robertson has been all over the place, so inconsistent. The fact that they got Kerkez, one of 2, maybe the best left backs within the league, they've strengthened. Wirtz, I can't say enough about this player. So obviously there was a lot of want from the City camp, right? Looking to get this player, the best midfielder in Germany, in the Bundesliga. Obviously, we wanted him over at City. There were factors, and again, Liverpool fans will kind of dismiss and say, oh, City got rejected, that's why they didn't want him. Let me also say this. Had we got Wirtz, I don't think we are able to strengthen the way we need to with the additional signings. I think the club did make a decision. I think that the club did have a total package in mind with regards to what made sense moving forward and what didn't. If you want to say that City pivoted, cool, that's all right. But I think they pivoted for the right reasons. Similarly, why Liverpool also understand in past seasons when you didn't get your number 1 target, and the list is long. I'm not going to do that to you. I'm not going to add another earmuff to it. But the list is long in terms of the midfielders that you guys were going after. And for whatever reason, you want to say rejected, want to say move on, you guys went the other way. And you're better for it, right? But The amount of spending right now that's happening, I believe you guys are close to 200 mil. If you add up Wirtz, if you add up Kerkez, and you add up Frimpong, there's rumors that you guys are also trying to get another center back out of Forest or even out of Crystal Palace. And the big one is Alexander Isak. I just find it so convenient. And I got thick skin. I'm actually cool with it. I'm having the conversation. I'm not annoyed. I'm not upset with this. I want to have the conversation because I don't like how things are being spun. When I feature on channels, in particular, those of you that are over here, you've probably been over there as well. But there's this nasty. You know what? Tell me in the chat if you've heard this before and who it's come from. But I heard this nasty. City spent like 200 million on defenders. When Pep first came into this league, City spent 200 million. So, why is that a relevant point to what's happening now in 2025? Pep came into this league, what, 2020, 2016, 2017? Why is what he had to do back then with regards to getting the right defender, and mind you, the defender in Kyle Walker lasted nearly 10 years. Why is that spend being something to discuss now? Like, what kind of distraction tactics? What kind of, like, look at the left hand while the right hand punches you? What's happening here? The whole emphasis with regards to how things are being spent right now, just own it. Own it, Liverpool fans. Y'all were telling City fans, just own it. You guys bought the league. If I could buy the league, I would buy the league. That's what you guys were saying back then. Now that you are buying the league, you're not trying to own it. Own it. That's all I'm saying. Just own the spend is crazy. And the reason why the spend is really different, the reason why this intent is so significant is because when City have won previous seasons, right? They didn't go back in like this. They didn't go back in like this. So, yes, if you want to emphasize us winning the league and then the next year spending 100 mil on a release clause for Jack Grealish as like, ooh, City have done this before. We got one player that year. Let's not do this whole revisionist. When we won the league and when we broke the record, we bought one player, Jack Grealish. The Liverpool fan that wants to keep emphasizing, oh, you spent two. That was early days. That wasn't consistently, right? And when you look at having to do that, if you're doing it now, just own it. Don't try to spin it. Don't try to say that it's different. It's the same, and it's actually, you've taken it to another level, which happens. Everything's an evolution. Liverpool have taken this show intent to win the league, to dominate, to another level. City haven't done this. And the gauntlet has, like, this is it. This is, all right, what you guys about? This is football moving forward. This is a serious club saying we're not leaving anything to chance. And I got no problems with it. But how it's being talked about, I really dislike how when City did it, it was ruining football. When City did it, it was inflating the market. When City did it, it was throwing the whole football pyramid out of whack. Why are there so many quiet voices right now? Almost like this is being applauded. Like, about time, Liverpool. About time you're acting like a big club. Now you're acting like a big club, but when City were doing it, they're ruining football. They weren't acting like a big club. Like, it is so frustrating to me. I'm gonna get to the comments, trust me. I think if this league is won by Liverpool unanimously, they bought this league. There's no arguing it. There's no trying to remix it. I don't want to hear any type of remixing. This is what they're doing. And go out and do it. Go out and own it. Don't try to remix it. Alexander Isak or even if they spend, again, if it's not Alexander Isak with another record-breaking signing, if it still happens to be 80 mil on a striker, we see what you're doing. We see what you're doing, and it's not ruining football. It's the state of what football is and how it has been, and how it was even before City started spending. So we got to let the media darlings do what they do, because that's when it's accepted and that's when the narratives all change. I'm not going to forget how we were talked about. Let me go to the comments. Actually, let me do this real quick, because Mateo goes, Vader, all we'll get is all we'll get is that it is different because we're cheats. Liverpool doing it the right way. We all know what the reaction are because they're so predictable. The cheats thing's funny because really sitting down at the table, the confirmed cheats are actually Liverpool. Go and see what they ended up doing with our scouting report. See how they acquired it. See how they were. See how the situation was resolved. We as a club turned the other cheek, but there's only one cheater at the table. Mateo goes, as long as these charges are hanging over our head. I hear that. We will always get this. We just need it all out in the open and clarity. I agree with that. Get all these charges out the way. That's one thing with regards to the charges. But if you look at how we've spent, despite the charges, we haven't spent like the most. We haven't spent record all the time, right? Despite all these charges. And funny enough, which that's going to be, this is how it's talked about amongst rivals, but Sheikh Mansour isn't injecting money every year. When he first took ownership of Manchester City, and obviously there needed to be a reset, right? Similar to what FSG had to do over there at Liverpool, right? They had to reset that place. And it doesn't happen overnight. But like Liverpool over here at City, we're sustainable. It's not owners inject cash. It's not that. And which gets dismissed often. But and I'm so going to try to switch it up, because I want to do better at this, but I want to just start promoting and emphasizing the sales that we do. We do incredible with our sales. Our academy is absolutely amazing. Even with regards to players that have moved on and certain, based off of the deals, we get a percentage, right? With regards to some of these sales, if they happen to be not direct but secondhand type thing. I need to do a better job of championing that stuff. I absolutely do. But that is a sustainable model. And what's actually amazing and how things have switched, and credit to Liverpool, this is where I'm being consistent. Liverpool, they did this season buying first. Liverpool went out and bought first. Right back, we need to get that. Trent said, I'm out of here. He doesn't mean more anymore at Liverpool. So he's moved on. They went and got Frimpong. Robertson kind of looking a little slow, right? Boom. They went on and got Kerkez. Bought these. Didn't have to sell to buy. Bought these. And then look at how they flexed on Wirtz. Look at what they ended up doing. They've acquired now. And now you're hearing rumors with regards to how they're selling. Potentially selling Nunez, selling Elliott, right? So those type of moves. I think Chiesa might get sold. Kwanzaa, like they're making a lot of moves, but they've acquired first, which is very different, very unique for Liverpool recently, and you got to give credit to that. But these are sustainable models that are happening right now. It's not owner injections. Paul goes, what is your early unbiased top 4 prediction for next season? Paul, see, you're asking me while I haven't seen a game played with the new additions at Liverpool. You're also asking me before the transfer window's closed with regards to Liverpool, but I'll answer it right now. Early predictions, it's Liverpool, City, Arsenal. I hate what I'm seeing from Chelsea. They look so inconsistent, but I have them fourth right now. Don C in the building. He goes, large up Vader. How you're I'm good, man. I'm good. All's good. We got a nice show. 115, one question, 50 minutes. We got this going. Paul goes, as the squad stands today, who's the best option at right back? Rico Lewis or Mateus Nunes are not right backs. No, they are not right backs. And you're gonna hate this, Paul. But within a squad, there's often like an Achilles heel. Like there's a vulnerable point. There's if you I'm gonna geek out right now. Forgive me. But even with regards to like the Death Star, that mammoth thing, I know it's fictional, but there was still a flaw, a design flaw. I think our right back is going to be our biggest challenge this season. And I don't know if we get it fixed. But amongst their choices, I actually think that now I got to see Kosanov actually deliver a cross. And I think he could be durable enough to play that role if it was just asking him to overlap and cross. Nothing shifty, nothing being too creative. But if that was to hold the width and deliver a cross, I think Kosanov could do that. If not, then I'm going Nunes, and third option, I'm going Rico Lewis. As of now, that's how I kind of see it right now. Are you in the building? He goes, Vader, I saw you're live with Hussam. You can't beat that guy in an argument. He changes the goalposts every time and about buying narratives. Listen, I'm glad you can see it, but I'm gonna be on this show because I wanna do the whole inception. I wanna say it. I want people to hear it, and then you can sit back and observe. Like, hey, he's not letting Vader speak, or hey, he's trying to shift things up. If this spending continues at Liverpool, 100% they bought the league. Own it. That's it. Don C in the building with a question. Don C, okay, what you got? How many trophies do you think you'll win this season? When do you think Pep will call it a day at City? See, Don C, here's a different thing, right? I've been lucky enough that trophies kind of they fall from the sky. I don't really predict, but I do every season. I want to fight. For that Prem trophy. I want to fight for the Prem trophy. The champs is bonus because it's knockout stages and all that, but that Prem, that being able to walk your block and be like, I own this. I want the Prem. I want to be able to fight for that Prem. And so if I were to go in order, I need to be in Prem contention, League Cup. Yeah, I do like the League Cup. I do like the League Cup. The reason why I like the League Cup is because that mid-season flex, that mid-season kind of like, we raised the trophy. I like that. So Prem contention, League Cup, and then let me see, navigate Champions League with that potential. But for me, it's not like that trouble satisfied for a long time. I always want to compete for the Champions League 100%. I know how motivated the players are, but that trouble, man. Woo. So Prem contention, early days. League Cup, let's get that. Good performances here or there, but if it came late to have to kind of choose between FA Cup, Champions League to make sure that the Prem's won, I know, unpopular opinion, but I'm gonna sacrifice all those other things to be able to secure that Prem. I like that Prem, man. And we're at 10. We got 10 titles, 10 league titles. Let's keep going. That's what I want. Oh, and to answer your question, sorry. I think Pep, honestly, I think Pep only has 2 more years. This year, next year. I think that's it. If this happens to be a madness, if if we do, I'm gonna say the unthinkable, but if we end up doing the Cup, FIFA Club World Cup, if we end up doing the Prem, and if we end up doing champs, I think Pep says, "See you later." I think Pep says, "Thank you. I know I signed off for 2 years. This season has been incredible. The demand has been tremendous. We've delivered these trophies. I'm confident that whoever City go out with regards to the next manager, or if they even do an interim thing, I think we might do that." And hey, City fans in the chat, let me know if Pep gave us 2 out of those 3 or 3 out of those 3, would you accept Pep being like, "I gotta go. I'm gonna say bye. Thank you so very much. I couldn't have left you guys last season third with the way we ran, but 2 out of those 3 trophies, I'm gonna have to go and spend time with the fam." I think we'd be okay with that. I honestly do. But yeah, IU goes, actually, if you look back a year video at the time, Jude and Caicedo rejected Liverpool. He was using all listen, that the thing is, I will tell you this. I will never be a prisoner of the moment, right? I have emotions, but I'm not emotional. So with me making content, with me talking, with me featuring, it's going to be of sound mind, right? So I'm not going to do something in the moment to win the argument and then do something differently, right? And again, maybe that's just with the platinums. That's just with wisdom, with being on this planet for so long. But the narratives switch up because sometimes you do things to win the argument. Sometimes I get it. I mean, there's also content creators that, again, they're making content. They're not necessarily sharing their opinion, but they're making content. And sometimes you gotta serve the algorithm, is what I'm gonna say. All right. You gotta be in service to the algorithm. And you all know what I mean. You've seen some of the titles, you've seen some of the videos. Sometimes you gotta serve the algorithm. And yeah, that won't be me. But Ellie goes, wait, what? Letty. Oh, what are you guys talking about in there? I must have missed it. Paul, I don't think there's anything wrong with buying the league as long as team has money to spend without breaking any rules. Agreed. Everyone has their own different approach towards being successful, strengthening, being sustainable, whatever their model is, right? And it does take time. And the early days investment, this is where Liverpool fans were really frustrated with FSG, but they were being so short-sighted. When FSG were looking to improve their facilities, were looking to modernize, that's obviously not what fans want to see. Fans want to see new players. Fans want to see managers' success. That's what they want to see. But that all goes into the planning and the building. I've often said, take City out, all right? Take City out. The next best owners in the Prem have been FSG. Liverpool fans were trying to talk me down, being like, no, it's I don't know who they were trying to say who was better. But it's clear. It's clear. 2 Prems in 5 years. They've won the champs. They've won the League Cup. They've won the FA Cup a few times now. And they brought in a very successful manager, and they've now replaced that with another manager that's won the Prem. Like, I get it. Maybe before Klopp won Champions League, to be against FSG, to be like, where's the proof? Show me. But when they brought in Klopp and they've had this success, I don't know how they still say FSG out, or they're not fans of FSG with regards to their club, because they've been the best managers. You take out City, because Liverpool fans, you've been accusing City of being cheats. So take out City, FSG, best owners. It's factual. Like it's the only thing that makes logical sense if you're not being duplicitous, if you're not being two sides talking out of both sides of your mouth. That's the only thing. So if you're saying City are cheats, okay, then how do you then not say that FSG are good owners when they brought you so much? I don't get it myself. I don't know how that all computes. And then another thing is, if with how FSG are moving, and they're choosing to spend now, we get it, because again, sometimes you got to spend like this. It's not spending like that. It really isn't. Like kids think, yeah, to spend. That's how kids think. Where I want this, I want that. That's how kids think. But when you're grown, you know that sometimes you got to spend, sometimes you got to stay flat, sometimes you actually have to kind of take a loss. You have to make do with what you have. You gotta wait for the right targets as well. You don't just buy to accumulate. You're like, nah, I'm gonna wait to get this because this is actually what I want. I'm not gonna get the discounted or no name brand. I want to get the quality one, so I'm gonna wait. They're out of stock. I'm gonna wait. Right? They haven't made this yet. I'm gonna wait. So I think FSG buying the league, which they would, is just how it is. Just own it, Liverpool fans, because you've been labeling other clubs with it. So just own it. Ayu goes, one more thing, Vader. I want Liverpool to get stronger. We have a GOAT manager? What? That's too early. Sydney needs to show who's the big dog. Oh, wait. All right. You mean City have the GOAT manager? Yeah. Wait. I'm trying to understand. If you know Mahabharat, Pep to City is like Krishna to Padava. I'm not familiar. Now I got homework to do. You got me some homework. Let me start that comment. Pep will have trouble keeping players happy. Squad too big. Yeah. Echeverry, Bob, and a few young players will struggle for game time. This is the thing. And I've been very conflicted with this. I wonder when the psyche of a player is going to change. Because it's different from the reason why I say that is because if players are comparing themselves to back in the day when there were less demands in terms of games played, right? So if for a player to say, I want to play in everything professionally, right? I see everyone's comments. I'm gonna get to you, but when a player said, I want to play every game, I get that. You had League Cup, FA Cup, Prem, but then they started creeping in these international games, right? And a lot more than before. And then you got obviously the summer tournaments, which are a lot more than before. I wonder if the player psyche, if the agents are going to get to the point where it's like, listen, you'll make more money with a longer career than you would to be playing so consecutively, right? I think I hope that the players kind of realize that game rotation needs to be in the mix. Yes, the big games everyone's going to want to play for. That's where they're going to be upset. That's where I think Pep's going to have his biggest challenge. But then there's also like, how do you bide your time? How do you bide your time to kind of show the club, show the manager, I'm better than said player, so I can get my chance? Or is it a season? Is it two to be like, I'm not getting my chance, now I move on? I know that's all age dependent, but Pep is going to have to struggle. But the fact is, there's also that motivation to want to win those trophies. And you stick around to be able to win those trophies, be a part of that squad. And as the season progresses, you get more and more responsibility, more and more involvement. I don't know. Tough question. That's why Pep gets paid the big bucks. Mateo goes, even if Pep left now, I'd still be more than satisfied with what he's been given to our club. He's achieved what most clubs probably will never achieve. That's true. In the Prem League, he's got endless credit for me. I'm in agreement. I'm glad he didn't leave last season. That would have been really tough. But he's such a serial winner, and again, it's not fake when he says I love the club. It's not fake when he says he's made this place a home. Like, I don't think he could have left. Yeah, he couldn't have left. We weren't a burning building, but he couldn't have left, and he couldn't have left like that. So I've been very happy with what he's done. He's exceeded any ideas I had of what Pep was going to do here at City when he came here, and even second season winning the Prem. He has exceeded that. The Centurion season blew my mind. I was like, whoa. Look at the number of goals we scored. Look at the points. Look at the consecutive wins. Like, it was crazy. It was crazy to me. And you hear it now when you hear from Gundalorian pitch points, the way he talks about, the 17 and the 18 season, 18-19 season, but like just the attacking football, the style of play, like so many amazing things. Like Pep's exceeded all. Listen, where are we at right now? 43 minutes into the show. My gal Rose is in the building. I'm glad she didn't miss me. I didn't miss her, but she goes, "Hey Vader, yes. Maybe until that day comes." I'm in no rush. I'm in no rush for when Pep says, "Thank you. I'm out of here." I'm in no rush. I think he's motivated to continue to break some records. I think he's motivated to even really cement the difference between him and everyone else that's coaching out there, because he's the manager. This day and age, there are many coaches out there. Pep is still a manager out here, and I think he wants to show and prove. Paul, I don't know who will win the league, but I'm 1,000% sure it will not be Arsenal with Arteta as manager. It won't be Arteta as manager at Arsenal. I'm going to say that. Yeah, you might think that's a little cryptic, Paul, but I'm going to leave it at that. Arteta won't win a title while at Arsenal. All right? Don C in the building. I don't think no team has bought the league. What? I think teams buy players that suits what they are trying to achieve. Yes, that is true. That is true. But the reason why, and I see what you're doing, Don C, but you know how the conversation was just throwing money at it, like just spending so much within a transfer window to like completely like revamp, change a team. That and how that whole labeling is why I'm referring to. So because City were labeled as buying the league, the movements being done by Liverpool right now would fall under the same category as buying the league. So yeah, we're not again, Don C, what we're not going to do, we're not going to change the narrative now that it's Liverpool. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. Leanne White in the building, he goes, I can give you an answer to your thumbnail in one sentence. City astroturfing it, trying to make it look like grassroots. There you go. That easy. City. So you're accusing City of doing it fake but making it look real. So astroturf the grass. And Liverpool. So wait, so I guess White, you're going back to like, I guess how we acquire the money. You're saying how we acquire the money is fake. I don't know how you do that when you see how, like, if you really did the homework and saw how much we sell. Like you can't fake academy players being sold and money coming into the club. Like the players being sold for income and that income being used on players. You can't fake that. And at the same time, you know that UEFA did their forensic accounting, right? UEFA did their forensic accounting, and there's nothing fake here. Now the Prem are doing their own. I mean, we're still waiting for what the verdict is. But White, I hope you're on this channel. If it happens to be financially, there's no fakery. All right. If financially there's no fakery, I hope you're back here on the channel and be like, you know what? It's all real. It's all legit. I look forward to that. IU goes, two-sided, got the opportunity. Okay, I got you. But at the same time, I still do my homework. I love doing these shows. I love some of the I love some of the comments, but I love the comments because it allows me to go into greater depth. Paul, I struggle to see Foden and Shirky playing. What? No, Paul, no. I got to stop you. I'm not even reading the rest of the question. No. Listen. I don't. But you know what? In fairness, let me read out your full question. Paul goes, I struggle to see Foden and Shirky playing together. The team will be too narrow with 2 number 10s. Now, Foden, natural left. Shirky, natural right. Shirky's more two-footed than Foden, but we'll leave it at that. Now, where I would challenge you, Paul, is I have greater concern with Marmoush and Holland playing together. That's because I think if Marmoush and Holland play, then Foden or Shirky drop. Okay, but I can see Shirky and Foden playing together. I do training footage. I love the chemistry there. I love their love of football. You see their touches, you see their skill. I think they can work together. I think what it would mean though, if it's to still keep Foden in a very attacking position, and I got to do some more homework on Shirky because does he prefer to play on the right hand side, like slightly more right than left on the pitch? Because I think Foden prefers that as well. So if that is the case, I do need to do some homework. If that is the case, then I would agree. But when they were playing together 2 games ago, I thought they actually could work really well together. We got to see more games. Paul, I'm not convinced like that yet. Tony in the building. Tony Claude Van Damme. Gunner TV. Yeah, I added that extra. Big up my brother Vader. Smash the likes. Please hit that like button. And those of you new faces, new names, hit that subscribe button as well. He goes, LOL. Of course you bought the league titles, LOL. Are you serious now, Vader? Okay, so Tony, I like that. I like that thinking. If of course I bought the league, right? If of course I bought the league, I don't know, you tell me which year I bought the league, but if of course I bought it, then that same observation needs to be applied to Liverpool. If they win the league this year, if they end up winning the league this year, it's going to be labeled as Liverpool buying the league. One record signing. I think their highest spend ever, right? Their biggest spend in the transfer window. Yo, big up Duncy every time. You know what it is. White goes, oh, you do not get it. The point, but why would you? Because then you would have to admit what all you City fans don't ever want to admit. No, but White, can I admit something that hasn't been proven yet? Like, I don't know what country you're messaging out of, but the funny thing is, on YouTube, you're guilty until proven innocent. I'm going off of innocent until proven guilty. So UEFA, and get me, just hear me out. Are you in disagreement? Like, do you not believe the verdict or the clearance that was provided by UEFA? The fact that City are still playing in Champions League, like, is that, like, do you think we're still skating between rules with regards to UEFA? Because that would make the competition fraudulent. Like, why would UEFA keep City in it if City are guilty or have been cheats, right? And if UEFA are overlooking something that's done by City, would that mean that they're not overlooking other clubs, or they are overlooking other clubs? Like let's look for some consistency here, because I just want the logic to be the same. Now, what happens in the Prem is the Prem. I'll admit if there is wrongdoing, I'll be the first to admit it. But there isn't any as of now. So what am I not admitting to? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Liverpool fans are, can use the narrative against City all these years, but when you go back, it's so uncomfortable. It's true. It is true. We are not saying we don't, but just accept that what. Okay, I hear it. I hear it. Don C showing some love. Paul goes, Marmoush should start. His best position is behind Holland. Okay. That is why Foden or Shirky will be fighting for one spot. Okay, I got you. And so this is thing where I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this show in the future. What is our best 11? And then what are the variances? What are the alterations? What are the sometimes rotation? Right? I think we can definitely do that show. That would be a good one. If Marmoush and Holland are starting, what do we do when we want to rest those two? What does our attack look like, especially at 9, if we choose to rest those guys? Mateo, you see, this is what you people do. We know nothing yet, neither do you. Okay, he's talking to Ian. So why are you denying something? We know nothing about. If you know something different, can you let us know? Hey, that's fair. I know nothing. I'm not going to be overly defensive. I'm not going to be overly confident. As of now, there's no wrongdoing. My chairman has said he's confident that when all the information is presented forward, things will be good. I've had, even with, we want to date back with regards to UEFA, I had our Manchester City's owner, Sheikh Mansour, sign a letter admitting that there was no wrongdoing and forensic accounting. They went through everything, all the O's, all the every dollar spent, every transaction. We're clear, guys. We're clear. We're not in denial. That's a fair point. I like how Mateo's kind of dealing with this. And again, we'll revisit this conversation down the road. LFC say in the building. Yo, big up. You know what it is. Thank you for joining the channel. Yeah, no, this is a great point. In the court of YouTube, there's only one verdict. You're guilty. Or you paid under the table. That's another one. You know what's funny? Talking about switching up narratives, all right? And the reason why, you know what? I've realized I'm probably going to have to do a show the day after I'm on a show with Don Hussam. Especially if I'm on his channel, because I won't have the last word. But you hear what's crazy is for many seasons now, and again, we got Erling Haaland, the most prolific, efficient striker we've ever seen. That's factual. I'm not making things up. I'm not boosting. I ain't gaslighting. That's fact. No striker has scored in less minutes. No striker has scored with less touches. He's so proficient, right? But Haaland cost us 51 mil. But you know what they want to talk about? They want to talk about money under the table. They want to talk about agent fees. They want to talk about slipping money to the parents. Guess what? Guess what's happening over here? Guess what's happening over here? Crickets. But we know mom and dad were his agent. We know that this player, best in the Bundesliga, happened to just fractionally come over to the Prem, slightly over the British or the Prem transfer record, just slightly. Yeah, we're gonna believe all that. All right, just be consistent. If it's brown envelope, City are doing it, but Liverpool are all legit. The club that stole our scouting reports, obviously found guilty of that. We turned the other cheek and said, you know what, pay the fine. We're not gonna talk greasy about you in the public. We're not gonna bring this up anymore. But the one club that are actually cheats are not doing any of the cheating stuff. Okay, all right, that's cool. Let's just be consistent. That's all I ask. Doug in the building. Yo, big up, man. Large up. If you haven't subscribed over Dugout Football channel, go and do so. Go open up another tab. If you're on a laptop, if you're on your desktop, just open up another tab. Don't leave the show. Open up another tab, go subscribe, do the damn thing, stay over here. Don C, if Pep wins nothing this season, in your opinion, should he leave? No. What? Don C, what kind of loser talk is that? Listen, you know you're a loser. You're a loser, or you're truly a loser when you choose not to compete anymore. Retiring is different. But when you've fallen and you decide I'm not getting up anymore, that's when you're a loser. Pep's a serial winner. If he doesn't win anything this season, he's back again. If he doesn't win anything after his last season contractually, I'm telling you right now, he's gonna sign a contract extension. He is not leaving. He's not leaving the Prem without a major. I'm telling you. He's not wired that way. We all know people. You know what? When you're playing board games, when you're playing, outside shuffleboard or cornhole or lawn darts, whatever. If you're outside, whatever. What's that game? Actually, I played it. It was pretty fun. I did frisbee golf. That's incredibly, surprisingly fun. But no matter what it is, that type of person that always has to play until they've won, right? Oh, let's go again. Now, will they quit after they win? That person that as soon as they've won, they quit. That's it. I think that's Pep in terms of like he has to leave a winner. He has to leave a winner. So, oh, that's funny. I was funny. I came across it was on the timeline. It was showing like 80s games. I was like, why did lawn darts come to mind? But it was showing all the things from back in the day. Paul, why is there so much energy on this 115? Let's wait until the ruling comes out. That's fair. Let's wait. Let's chill. Let's wait. I mean, the news should have been out a while ago. I think it's interesting on how long it's taking. I think that might be a little telling that the ruling should have been decided on and it's still kind of kept under wraps. I think maybe this is me wishful thinking. I think if it was terrible news for City, I think the news would be out right now. I think if it was good news for the Prem, I think the news would be out right now. So, yeah. LFC goes, Vader, I don't care of the 115 because no one knows. Reason for 115 charges. It's true. And I believe City won't get charged. I don't think we're going to get charged of what we've been accused of from like unfair competition, competitive advantage, financial advantage. I don't think we're going to get charged with that. I don't think we're going to. Those are really going to be the ones that are going to hurt us because I don't think we did it. The chairman said we haven't done it. But the ones, and I say this all the time, those of you new to the channel, you can't resist arrest, right? Hopefully none of you ever have to experience that. But resisting arrest is a charge. So City resisted cooperating, resisted arrest with regards to like giving information. And I think that's definitely what we're going to get hit with. And it's probably going to be a case where that's how the Prem are going to make an example of City with regards to if we ask you for something and you choose not to provide it, automatic, here's how you're going to be penalized. And I think that's what we're going to get hit with. As a City fan, who do you hate the most, United or Liverpool? I hate United the most. With regards to the rivals right now, because United are irrelevant with regards to a title. Sorry, I meant to say, with regards to like a title chase, United are irrelevant. So I'm less concerned with them right now. But hatred, it is United. Title, it's Liverpool. Doncy goes, Vader, just asking question as we may want a new challenge. I hear it. No, I hear it. I ain't mad at that. Pep may want a new challenge. Pep may want to be like, I've done all that I want to do with regards to club football right now, possibly. But I don't think he leaves until he's a winner. IU goes, I saw a Goldbridge video about 115. See, I don't let me say, IU, I don't consume any Goldbridge content, none whatsoever. How do I put this? The same way Goldbridge has no interest in knowing what I have to say about football, I have no interest in hearing what he has to say about football. Unfortunately, the way the algorithm works, things come across my timeline, and I have not come across an opinion where it's like, this guy's balanced, not one. And so, yeah, what you're telling me is news to me. So I saw a Goldbridge video about 115, him saying it either City found guilty or City win. That means it is against the Prem who'll implement the rules because City find okay. So we either win because we found loopholes against the rules or we're guilty. But we found loopholes, so we cheated, but we found loopholes, so we're guilty either way. That's that seems very on brand for that guy. Pep will leave City after the World Cup. You'll be the next Spain. Ooh, I don't know, Paul. I don't know about that. I don't know about that because the whole. I mean, there's the whole different like politics over in Spain as well. I don't know if Pep would do that. There was rumor that Pep was gonna do that for Brazil before Ancelotti, right? And that is still possible because if Ancelotti doesn't have a good World Cup, I don't know what kind of contract he signed. I would assume that it's most likely only for this upcoming World Cup and not longer than that, given his experience. But yeah, that might still be a shout for Pep to end up being the next Brazil international manager. Is it not fair? It is not fair. That means they are still saying City. Yeah. I know. Wild. Not gonna lie, Alex Ferguson, noisy neighbors comment still hurts. Listen, I got that clipped up actually. I had that clipped up as a voice note that I want to play. I just want to make sure I shouldn't have any issue with it. But yeah, that was the beginning of the end for Sir Alex Ferguson because that arrogance is what caught him. That arrogance is what caught up to him and why I try and I want to be as humble as I can because when that starts slipping away, yeah, you're doomed. You're doomed. Godfrey in the building. Big evader every time. Good looking out. One Hyatt. Good looking out. Now, we know that the hypocrites are going to be out there. We know that it's going to be a different narrative for Liverpool than it is for City, right? There's no denying Liverpool are the media darlings. Look at the number of Liverpool former players or whatever ties that they have that are out there and amongst the pundits, amongst the media. So I get it, right? But on these channels, on YouTube, and in this world, I'm gonna keep fighting this. Because if we were accused of ruining football, if we were accused of buying the league, it's happening here. On future shows, guests, I'm gonna geek out. I'm gonna nerd out. Maybe some of you in the chat will help me out. But I'm gonna look at, the 2021 season, 2022 season. I'm gonna look at what did City spend? What did the rivals spend? Right? Because that's what's being held up now. Now it's all about, they're trying to do, well, Liverpool spent this, but look at what the others spent. Okay. There's been seasons where City weren't the biggest spenders, but we were still accused of buying the league. So we're gonna have this out. I'm confident that it's gonna be a lot more of an entertaining season. Guys know this. Guys and girls, please know this. This season's gonna be a lot more entertaining than last year. There was a drop in viewership by like 17%, as discussed by Sky Sports and TNT. 17 and like 10% amongst the two. We can't let that happen again. We can't have a boring league. So City need to get back into this just for entertainment purposes. I think we got to do what we got to do. I was talking, obviously, those of you in the chat, we got to get a right back. I think if we get a right back, we make things a lot more easier for ourselves. and we try and match this dominance that Liverpool are looking to execute this year, and then we make the rest work. Then it's kind of like, okay, who can manage health? Who can have the better tactics? Who can best manage the schedule, right? But I think the only thing missing right now is right back over at Manchester City. I think that's the only thing. Liverpool, if they get Alexander Isak, everybody should be on alert. Everybody. Let me hit up these last few comments before I shut down. Paul goes, to be fair, the City Liverpool rivalry is great for the league. Yeah, because the football. Don't listen to these. Oh, I want the soap opera. I want the drama. I want old school. I want needle. I want the fights. I want like the hatred. The hatred happens on the pitch. This is professional football here. What you saw was true hatred on the pitch. Now, are you going to carry on and talk greasy online? Are you going to have that back and forth? No, it's not necessary. What you want to do is to be in the stands, watch these games on TV, watch these games on whatever platform, and see quality football, great football, competitiveness, unmatched. And I think City and Liverpool bring that back. The title rivalry has been insane. I can't hate on that. It's reasonable for them to hate us. Absolutely. I mean, they're going to continue to hate us. They never wanted us at the table. They wanted it to still be the Red Cartel and them. Another thing, this is going to take me on to another conversation, but I want to kind of keep this. This was supposed to be 1-1-5, but this whole PSR it's actually so damaging. Like when you think of like what the pyramid will actually mean with regards to other clubs having the means, having the spend, and the likes of a Newcastle being the mix to actually compete. Like this PSR is preventing Newcastle from putting a stamp and being like top 4, top 5. I'm in it on a regular. Let's go. All right, let's everybody raise their level. This PSR has got them potentially selling the best striker from last season because they got to balance the PSR books. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. Paul, Mateus Nunes is not good enough. He's not. Calvin Phillips, he's not the next Calvin Phillips. Don't do that. Don't do that because Nunes is actually getting onto the pitch. Nunes is actually being fit. Calvin Phillips, different story. Godfrey, as a rival fan, I'm not hearing this whole City bought the league. Hey, if Arsenal had your owners, nobody would be complaining. Find a way. Hey, I respect that, Godfrey. I respect that. It's some Liverpool fans that are some Liverpool fans, man. I'm telling you. Which moment made you a City fan? For me, it's the Aguero moment. It was a big news on the sports page in the local newspaper. So there's not that one moment that made me a City fan, but I'm going to show my age on this one. So okay. Funny enough, you got to be really PC these days. All right. You got to be really PC. You got to be really particular. But I'm going to make the assumption. I think it's the same in many cultures. I don't think it's just unique to mine. But when you want to see people like you. You want to see examples like you, not necessarily exactly like, your country or your direct lineage, right? But you want to see people like you. So the sport was introduced to me with a big emphasis with regards to a player with my complexion playing really well at Manchester City. All right. And that is what that's what got the early pride in terms of the club. All right. So my uncle following the club and him highlighting that, hey, look at this player looking like this, playing so well. All right. So I'm gonna leave it at that. But the witnessing, like watching it and like being in awe, like like unbelievable, did not see that happening. Yeah, that Aguero moment is that where it's like, you're just gonna have to wait a little longer for this thing. It's not happening. Look at wow. Like, yeah, that's the Aguero moment. I hope that makes sense. LFC goes, Vader, we won't get Isak because they're asking too much money. Yeah, but if you don't get Isak, which again, crazy intent, but if you then go and spend like 80 mil on another striker, you improve on what Nunez was supposed to be. It's y'all are dangerous. Y'all are dangerous. My gal, Vader, City is moving in the right direction. Rivals will just have to hate us. Yeah, they're gonna hate us more. They're gonna wish for Pep to be leaving. That's gonna have to continue on. I hear you, my gal. I hear you. Manele, hopefully I'm saying that right. Beginning of last season, we did not spend on anyone. We only signed in Jan. Now they are combining Jan. Yeah, January transfer with this one in 2 different seasons. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. You can see the narratives, and I'm glad. I'm glad. So please type your name phonetically if I'm not saying it right, because I'm saying Benele. But yeah, you can see the agendas. You can see how they want to slice things up. They want to remix it. They want to do all of that. So yeah, we're gonna be hated, like my gal Rose said. Harry Football Fallout. Go and subscribe, support. Again, open a tab if you're on a computer, on a desktop. Don't leave. Continue to listen, but go show my man some love. Why do you have such a rage bait title? Is that rage bait? You don't think it's interesting? Why is there no ruining football talk with Liverpool? Because the ruining football talk is about spend. That's really what it's been about. Because when we were spending to try and improve, to try and win, it was running football. That's all. Bro, African footballers have been tearing up the league way before City. What? Okay, Harry, I think you're missing the point. At the point of me like really getting into football, like at the point of it being like talk to me, like not quite hand me down, but hey, understand this is what I'm talking about. Obviously African descent, Caribbean descent, however you want to look at it, those players have been around forever, 100%. But my man asked me about my City moment. So that's what I was talking about. I'm not saying that City were the first to ever have a player of African or Caribbean descent. I'm not saying that. Hopefully you understand that. Paul, looks like City will face Real Madrid. Yeah, man. Worried? I'm not worried, but what it does is it accelerates. Okay, hear me out. It accelerates what Pep does to show us who he thinks is the best 11 for versus Real Madrid. Not best 11 that we'll see throughout the entire season, but best 11 with regards to Real Madrid. So I'm excited for that if that does line up, because we'll be first in our group, so they'll be second in their group, or is it the other way around? But yeah, it looks like we're lining up. We all want someone to introduce us to football. I'm from a cricketing nation, so that moment is still goosebumps. Now I can pass it on. Yeah, I mean, I'm a father of 2. My kids have been introduced to City football a lot earlier with regards to how they've been able to watch it and consume it. It's such a different era. It's crazy. My son and daughter made me a Father's Day card, and they drew Erling Haaland on the cover of it. I'm gonna take a pic and maybe post it on the channel in terms of some of those like community notes or whatever. But yeah, it's representation, and that's such a woke thing to say now, but it was a moment of pride for my uncle to be talking about that at the time of him introducing it to me. That's all. Paul, Yaya Toure and KDB, who's better in their prime? Well, why are you doing this to me? Why are you doing this to me? Let me put it this way. If Yaya sustained his prime, because obviously we lost years with him at Barca and we got years with him here. But I think Yaya is the best player, best midfielder that I've ever seen live. Best midfielder that I've ever seen live. KDB, with his career, is the best midfielder at City. His Manchester City career is the best from beginning to end. And it also speaks to what he was able to win while there. But live, Yaya Toure, listen, watching him on TV or clips doesn't do justice. It can actually, if you kind of pause it, look at some of the tunnel footage. Look at some of the tunnel footage and you see the stature of what Yaya was. And then you also think about how quick he moved, how strong he was, how nimble he was with the ball, how he manipulated that. And this was the player that needed no wind up. No wind up. You know, like that just like little flick of the ankle just to raise it. That was Yaya. Top bins side netting, like one of those. It's I can't. Best career at City, KDB. In their prime, I'm taking Yaya. Large up. Rodrigo talks is coming. Don't do that to me. I'm trying to wrap up the show. Benelli, don't do that to me. Okay, listen, everybody in the chat, good looking out. I'm trying to get to all these comments. Good looking out. Stop online hate. Absolutely. Yo, good looking out. Thank you so very much. If you haven't hit that like button, please do so. These are future topics that I absolutely want to hit up. And because again, 115s, they're supposed to be short and sweet, but the conversation with the chat have been amazing. And I've been looking at my phone, so nothing work has been coming through. How would you feel if your son becomes a footballer and Man United wants to sign him? So first of all, I tried so very hard for my son to get into football. It was not his thing. Even so we'll kick the ball around all day in the backyard. All day. He'll want to do keep ups. He'll want to kick left, kick right. Say you want to go play a game? Psst, no interest. None. No interest. And like his parents, he's incredibly fast. And he would be so dangerous, right? Like early days, kick and run, get to space, shot on net. That would be him. He had no interest in it. None. And I grew up playing football and didn't stop until high school. And I stopped in high school because in high school, that's when players the game all switched. My dad recognized these guys aren't tackling for the ball. They're trying to tackle and catch your ankle. They're trying to tackle and catch you to slow you down. Because I was fast. I played up front. And he was like, that's it. Because I was fortunate enough to actually pursue track and field. So he shut that down. And then I went from being on the vulnerable end because I was getting tackled on to then playing defense. And I was like, I can be in a lot more control here, and kind of still played while I was doing track for a bit. But sorry, I don't know why I went off on that tangent. But if my son were to be a footballer, he's not going to United. No. And nah. He wouldn't go to the academy, he's not going. Because if he's going to be that nice, there's going to be interest elsewhere. He's not going. I'm telling you that right now. especially with how they are. That place is toxic. It's radioactive. I mean, he's not going. I wouldn't have him go. I'd stop him. Beans and toast, Vader. You are the. Am I the gaslighter connoisseur? Good looking out with beans and toast. Appreciate that. Your opinion on my. Oh, okay. I watched some clip. He's so good with 6 foot tall, intelligent, and aggressive. I think he could. So again, I think he could work with Pep. I think he would be surrounded enough to have I think a good debut season. I don't know what the price tag is. You gotta let me know on what it would mean for us. Like, because our squad right now is so bloated. I say bloated, but who would go? Like, who would not remain? Our Club World Cup off of those players, and I'm gonna have to do this on another show. You guys have been bringing up some great topics, but who's not gonna make it from who traveled to the Club World Cup is gonna have to be another show. Yaya Toure, best African footballer of all time. Salah second of all time. I'm not doing that, Paul. I'm not doing that. No. We're gonna save that combo. Beans and toast go. Vader, growing up, did you ever consider becoming a lawyer? I probably did. Early. I'm okay. So one thing I've said this before. So my dad had me not only read, but he had me watch 2 people often with regards to how they spoke in speech, and it was Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. So I don't speak like them. I'm not trying to say that, but in terms of like trying to be measured, trying to be polite but insulting at the same time, I think is kind of like where some of that came through. But a lawyer, no. I do like, and this is where it's kind of passed on. My son has said that he wants to be a lawyer, and he loves to argue. He loves to argue so much to the point where he's arguing to win, not because the point that he's taken is what he believes. And this is where it's scary. I'm like, yeah, that's lawyer thinking, right? Like, oh, I'm gonna find the positions to argue if he joins the debate, nasty. Although I don't think he's gonna like debating, because debating is so structured. But yeah, sorry, I'm all over the place. Oh, 50 mil. That's not bad. Being the toast go, Vader, I swear you have a way with words. No, I respect that. I do enjoy lyricists. Like, obviously I grew up on hip hop, so I'm a lyrics guy. I like to play it back. I like to just, oh yeah, the beat's nice, but I like to hear what are you actually rapping about? What are you spitting about? I'm all about that. And at the same time, when it comes down to kind of like wordplay, now with battle rap, where things were kind of flat with rapping, battle rap, and obviously, because I see my gal in the comments. Obviously, I like lyricists with regards to dancehall too. So I'm always kind of like, listen, and I like to play around with words. Godfrey in the building. He goes, George Weah, only African player to have won the Ballon d'Or. Yeah, exactly. That's why I want to leave it alone. And that I can't ignore Eto'o. Like, I mean, Yaya, I think Yaya won 3 consecutive African Player of the Years. So he's deserving, but to be the best, I can't do it. You're professional one. No, thank you. And this is not, listen, let me actually take your comment off screen. Sorry, beans and toast. But this is not rage baiting. I wasn't having this to have a rage bait conversation. I was having this to kind of like point out, why is everybody on mute, not talking about ruining football? let's understand. Let's recognize what it is. Let's also recognize that when you're spending to strengthen to win the league, that's what clubs are supposed to do. So if that's what big clubs are supposed to do, was City not doing it as a big club before? That's it. That's it. I'm gonna bring it to the surface. That's all. My gal goes, oh yeah, Vader is an eloquent speaker who does have his way with words. I appreciate that. I appreciate it. And for all of you young in the chat, you're not quite settled down. You want to get your word game. You want to be able to talk to people. I mean, so many of us are nice on the device, but not in person. You want to be able to strike a conversation. You want to be able to, not have, not use too many filler words, right? Not use too many filler words. But hey, we all have our different styles, and as long as people enjoy hearing you or speaking with you, you're good to go. Paul Godfrey, I agree with George. Yeah, I should have said Yaya best to play in the Prem. Ooh, but then you got Eto played in the Prem too. Yeah, they're amongst Eto and Yaya. I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm the same. One of my favorites is Nas overall. It's true. Like Nas, 3 Stacks, Jadakiss. If I'm actually gonna, like, this is dating going back, obviously you have to put in Big L, Raekwon, Ghostface, lyricist. So I like the playfulness as well. If you want to, like, Fabulous, underrated, Tretch from Naughty by Nature. Yeah, like, yeah, things are different. And I gotta say, let me, before people are being like, yeah, Eminem as well. So when you talk about lyrics, but for me, it's also lyrics and delivery. I gotta put Biggie in there, because what you're saying, but then the flow and style and how you say it, that's another thing too. Paul, Vader reminds me a little of Barack Obama. Really? All right, I'll take that. Not mad at that. Lost Tapes. I knew what you meant. You strike me as someone who's also into classical R&B. Yo, Godfrey. Listen, when I talk to if I gotta talk to you youngins out there, I know many are on the whole, what is it? Probably Chris Brown. Who's probably heavy with regards to like the R&B scene right now for the youngins. You want to go back. I'm telling you. You want to go back. R&B, like SWV days, Sisters with Voices. If you want to go back to then, you want to go back to like you want to go back like Boys to Men, In Vogue. Listen. Problems. Do not play that unless you have, do not get in the mood of that stuff unless you got plans, is all I'm saying. Classic old school R&B. And another thing is the voices. I'm so when you guys were talking about like lyricists, I'm also like I'm a voice thing. Like this auto tune kind of like kills it. But if you go back and you kind of like listen to voices like Whitney Houston, I'm gonna try to find this clip. It's old. I think it's damn. It's a performance, and it might be Soul Train, but it had like mad artists on there, like D'Angelo and all that kind of stuff. But it was back in the day. The voices is crazy. So I'm going all over the place, but yeah, R&B voice is crazy. Yeah, I mean, Usher's in the mix, of course. Usher's a classic. Tyrese back in the day. Mary J. Yeah, those are things. Those if I'm trying subliminals. Okay, so again, you guys can see this. Subliminals. And I don't think this happens enough. I grew up like my dad actually DJ'd, and music would be playing all the time. Caribbean background. So my dad's Vinci, my mom's Jamaican. So calypso, soca was playing all the time. Reggae, dancehall was playing all the time, and my dad was playing. Oh man, my dad was playing like early days, early days Shaba, like Ninja Man. Oh man, but like that stuff, if I hear it now, like it's like a time machine. But music's played all the time. And sorry, where I was getting at with regards to subliminals is if you just play the music now, you don't even have to say anything. Like just let the music play, and just the lyrics or the mood just seep in and be and you don't. That's what, like, good music just sets the mood. Good music just sets the mood. Now listen, this some things you don't learn until you're older in life. It's crazy. Some things you don't learn until you're older in life. So I forget who sang this. Was it Teddy Pendergrass? It might have been Teddy Pendergrass. But it's like, if you think you're lonely now, wait until tonight. Like maybe it wasn't Teddy Pendergrass, but that song played. Okay, I'm messing up here. But when that song played, I knew there was a little tension between my mom and dad back in the day. Not like anything major, like nothing breakup, but it was like, it's so old school. It's so old school because that and other songs would kind of be played, but that song in particular, I knew there was like a little bit of friction. And obviously before the end of the night or before the weekend or whatever, everyone's happy. There's no like, go tell your mom I'm sorry or anything like that, right? Or vice versa. But that song, if you think you're lonely now, wait until tonight, girl. I think that song my dad played when my mom was in the wrong, and there was actually I'm gonna go blank now. But my mom would play a song if my dad was in the wrong. Oh, damn it. I wish I remembered it. But old school music is what I grew up on. Old school music. Rose. Oh, Bobby. Oh, okay. Yeah, yo, Don C, Yellowman. Yeah. Erica Badu was class. D'Angelo, Badu, Maxwell. Shoot. Floetry. Why am I forgetting her name? Because she ended up acting. Amazing voice. Amazing voice. Jill Scott. Listen, problems. Oh, another thing. Early days, bachelor days, and you wanted the music to do the talking. It's a little bit of dirty macking. So dirty macking is when a girl's involved, but you're trying to say you're better for her than he is for her. Joe had a lot of songs. Joe had a lot of dirty macking songs. Like Joe had a lot of songs where it's like, listen, I know you're with him. He's not good for you. Come with me. But I mean, listen, guys, girls, all over the place. I'm talking here for an hour and 35 minutes. We dealt with we dealt with ruining of football. We dealt with football narratives. We've talked about early days football, son playing, and we talked about R&B. But one second, I'm gonna and we talked about R&B. The knowledge in the chat, I have to say this. The gravitational pull to pull us together and to have this talk. Amazing. Listen, Mateo, the Drew Hill is a problem. Drew Hill's a problem. Jagged Edge, problem. Boys to Men, problem. Yeah, listen, thank you, each and every one of you. Hopefully, those that aren't familiar with some of those artists, you go back and check it out. Those that are, we rewind that, and maybe we'll do like a little bit of Q&A. Like I always told myself when I reach 1K subs, then every milestone I'll share a little more in terms of behind the scenes, what makes Vader, right? And even with regards to the name, some of you may know or may not know, but even the origin to Vader, I'll explain some of that. But yeah, when I get to 1K, it is what it is. I hope you all enjoy the conversation. I like talking football, and obviously we talked other. I'm gonna break out nothing on the work phone. So bless, hit that like button, subscribe. The next show will be tomorrow. Tomorrow, let me try and do a CIA, get some panelists, because we got to talk about what this squad's going to end up being. And what potentially how we will set up to play Real Madrid. Obviously, we got Juventus to kind of deal with first. But thank each and every one of you guys and girls. You guys have been amazing. Enjoy this outro. I'm going to look to update it as well. But here's some of the past shows that have been a part of 115. One question, 15 minutes. Enjoy the outro. Bless.